One of the main things that I've been very touched by is the community part of this, because it's not only that we are planting trees, we're planting trees to kind of also build up communities, but I see that it's being done here in the office, how everybody is together, they're working together, they're trying to do something to kind of put everybody up. You know, we have one goal and everybody's working towards that. If somebody has a problem, or like me when I came in, I don't know that much about trees, but I had all these experts around me saying, ask me questions. What do you need to know? So I felt like I had a life jacket around me, that everybody was kind of helping out.
Well, of course it's always super rewarding to work with the clients, but the atmosphere here, the people, working with the people it's just an amazing experience. There's a certain amount of autonomy, being able to be your own kind of director of your own movie, if you will. You know, run the life that you want and make sure that it helps everybody else that you're involved with.
This is the first nonprofit I've ever worked for, and I've just worked for a lot of corporations where I felt kind of lost and unappreciated, I guess, to a certain extent. It's why I was kind of drawn to Friends of Trees, because I've always lived in urban settings, but I, at the same time, love trees and love going on walks, and I just liked the idea of feeling like I was contributing to my community and my city, and that's what I feel like I do on a daily basis.
I have been working for nonprofits for the last, I don't know how many ever years. I appreciate the fact that we're not working to make money. We're working to make a difference in people's lives, and I find that I'm making a difference in my life too.
I love working at a place where we're so close to the mission, where even though I may be doing accounting work or doing some planning, something like that, I can walk into the kitchen, get a cup of coffee, say hello to a family, ask them where they're from, ask them how they're doing, and really feel connected to the people that we're helping.
The thing that I love about the McDonald Center is that the community that we have of folks is the way I think that the world should be in its most perfect sense. That we have a community where people are cared about for who they are, for their whole person, that they are cared about for their whole lives, and we expect people to be at their very best and forgive them when they're not.
Our office environment, I would say, is very unique. We complain about the lack of space, but we know a lot about what's going on with everyone because of the closeness of everything. It's not a quiet, sterile environment.
We just get along so well. Usually I think how it can be overwhelming for some people to work like this, and we don't have a problem here. Having one restroom for so many people can be challenging, but it works out because our focus on what we're doing is what makes it work. Not the place. You can be in an office where you have your own restroom, your own office where people have to knock to come in. And you may not feel the same way. You may still feel like there is something missing. And for me here, this is great. My office usually is the kitchen actually, and I just love it. I just love it.
Well, one thing that's unique about working here is I love when I'm sitting at my desk and I hear somewhere in the building somebody singing, or playing piano, or tap dancing, and it's just, I think that doesn't happen in most workplaces.
People will sometimes just break out into song occasionally, which is funny because when you see a music, you think, oh, well, people don't actually break out into song, in the middle of their day. Well, here they do.
We're a dog-friendly agency, and I bring my dog to work with me every day. I think it gives a certain ambience to the building. I also think dogs are a good fit with our clients, that they're good for homeless youth to be around. And also research shows that dogs reduce stress, and it's a way for staff to connect with an animal while they're at work.
You know, it's a little bit of a distraction, but in a healthy way, you know, like if I want to take a little bit of a walk and then come back and focus, I think that we're so flexible and understanding here that it's a good way to like go away and come back. And I think I appreciate that a lot. He's actually grown a lot from being here too, because he gets to have that human interaction. He was a foster dog, and so he's learned to relax. So it's good for us to have that kind of relaxed atmosphere. It's good for him too. So
I've been here 22 years now, and I've been sad, I've been torn up many times, but I've never been bored once. I came here because I wanted to work with homeless youth, and the opportunity was here to do that. But when I got here, I discovered that people were called on to bring what they had inside themselves to the job, to take responsibility for the work that you're doing and make it your own. And that felt like coming home. I felt like finally I was at a place that was meant for me.
Well, it's a privilege to work at the McDonald Center. It's a privilege to work with the people that we serve, the people that are so on the margins, that are experiencing such poverty. We tell our volunteers and the students that when you have the McDonald name tag on, that's kind of your passport to safety throughout the neighborhood. It really is a privilege to work here because there's such high regard for the center and for the work we do.
I think getting to start the day with an opportunity for our staff to gather and pause for a minute and think about the bigger picture about why we each come here. That reflection time gives us a chance to, instead of jumping right into phone calls and meetings and the busyness of the day, we get to pause and not only reflect within ourselves but also as a community about why we're doing what we're doing.
It's nice to do a job where you get told thank you every day for doing your job, and the families do. They're wonderful. There's not another place that I know of that you get to talk with people that have so much going on in their lives, and it helps me to, you know, the things that might be going on in my life that I thought were difficult maybe at 8 a.m. By 9 a.m. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have it so good.
I always wanted to do some kind of work where I felt like I was having some kind of impact, really helping people in some way. Outside In is a place where we can feel that especially true. It happens on a day-to-day basis. We see young people who are homeless one week, and a month, 2 months, 3 months later, they've gotten their GED and they're starting college or they're starting a job. But we also see it years later. We get letters and emails from people 20, 30, 35 years later saying how important it was to them that they had this place when they were going through a rough spot in their life. So it really feels like it's making a difference.
I love the fact that I'm working with Latina youth, and they're kind of a reflection of who I was. I know that I had a lot of mentors in my life, so I really believe in the fact that Adelante Mujeres staff really cares about our community, and it's a way to really be a support system for these families and really help them kind of achieve their dreams.
I've always loved my work, but since I've come here, there's just stop in your tracks joy.
You're facilitating so many different kinds of adventures for people that it just doesn't have the feeling of being work. It just feels like you're just kind of playing all day, just kind of making sure that everybody gets the life that they want, and you know, being able to implement those kind of facilities for people. It's just so rewarding to see everybody get what they finally want out of their life.